Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Veevee Lawson. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. So today's video is going to be me giving a story and just trying to make not a huge protective hairstyle, something small, not great, not huge, but a protective hairstyle. So what's gonna happen is I'll be giving the story as I'm making the hair. So yeah, we're just going to see how that works out. But yeah, that's the plan. If you want to enjoy my story time and the hair braiding session, then keep watching. Alright, so I'm just going to quickly show you guys what I'll be using for the hairstyle today. So I have my extensions. It's called Darling Yaki Braid. I used it in my last video. No, not my last video, but the video that I made, I think it was before the last one. And I'm also going to be using this hair grease from Black Chick. Then I have my combs and bobby pins and my hair bands and this container of beads. So I have this black small one, the white ones, and the gold. I don't know. It's like you open them and then you press them into the hair. So that's what I'm going to be using today. Yeah, that's about it. So I had previously put. I did something that I've seen people do, but when I was thinking about it, I hadn't seen anyone do it. But after I decided that I was going to do it, I decided to also go check on YouTube to see if anyone has done that thing, because I was quite scared about it. I wanted to put body lotion on my hair. So I wanted to use body lotion to serve as a leave-in conditioner. So then I went to check if people had done it, and I saw that a few people had. And their hair didn't get damaged, or at least I didn't notice. But yeah, anyways, I went and I used my body lotion as a leave-in conditioner on my hair. That was a few days ago. And then I went on to putting this hair food as well. So you can pretty much say that my hair is already prepped for this hairstyle. Yeah. So like I said, it's not going to be anything huge or fancy. My hair is already pre-stretched. I did that as well a few days ago. I really don't like to comb my hair with this white tooth comb because it's usually painful in my hair. Just give me 1 minute. So I'm back. I prefer to detangle with this brush. Yeah. So I'm just going to use that. I'll take out a few sections and just use it to detangle, starting from the ends, going up. It's quicker for me and it's painless at the same time. I think I should just section the hair first, and then I'll detangle before I plait. So I don't have any mirror here. The room that I'm filming at has no mirror. So I'm just going to use the camera in front of me to I'm filming with my phone, by the way. So I'm just going to look at the screen and then section of my hair. So in case you see some crooked lines, just bear with me. Forgive me, because I don't have eyes behind my head. I don't have extra eyes behind my head. There's no mirror here. So yeah, but I'm sure it'll come out right. This video might be all over the place, but God help us. I'm going to section this half here into two. Okay, I'll try my best to make it 2 equal parts. Alright, so the story that I have for you guys today is something that happened last month, being August. I'm sure from the title of the video you already know what I'm talking about. Yes, I tested positive for COVID-19. I tested positive for COVID-19, and it wasn't just me, my entire family did as well. So when you first came into the family, we noticed it on my, or in my, or from my brother. English, but the first person who showed symptoms of the virus was my youngest brother. Okay, I don't know if this thing is straight, so God help me. But yeah, it was my youngest brother. So we noticed that he was acting really quiet and it was unlike him. So I'm also going to section this off into 2 as well. It's going to be a super simple hairstyle. I'm just going to plait my hair all to the back. I'm thinking of, since my hair is black and the extension is also black, I'm thinking of starting the hair solely with my own hair, and then add extensions to the ends of my hair to elongate it, like to make it longer. Make sure there are no tangles in my hair. So as I was saying, we first noticed it in my brother, and so he was acting really quiet, and it was super strange. It's unlike him because he's usually like the life of the house. He's like very vocal and funny, and always doing funny things and saying funny things. So but the day we noticed it, he was really quiet on that day. And then, but he had to go to church for rehearsal because he plays drums, and he also plays a little bit of the saxophone and keyboard and guitar. But on that day, he was rehearsing for drums. So he had to go to church to, rehearse. Now, he was feeling really sick and acting strange, so we were like, please don't go to church, if you can't make it, just don't go, because he's usually so bubbly and all that, and whenever he's quiet we know that he's not feeling good. So we're like, please don't go, because the rehearsal takes like a long time. They start around 7 p.m. and then by the time they're done, sometimes the time even goes up to 12 in the midnight, or at least 11 p.m. So we're like, please don't go. I think I should start with my hair first. Or what should I do? Should I just add a little bit of extensions? I don't know. Okay, let's see. So we're like, please don't go today. And then he was like, no, I'm going to go because it's too late to tell them that I won't be there. And I don't want to like spoil any plans. So he went. The time he came back was around 11 p.m. And then he was super tired, like he was finished. He could barely walk back into the house. And then, because I was keeping up with him on WhatsApp, so I'll just text him a few times, and if he's free, he'd reply me. And then he kept saying that he's feeling so tired and that he's not feeling good at all. So I was like, hey, if only you knew, you should have stayed back. But yeah, to cut the long story short, he came back super tired and, weak. Next thing I saw, the boy was lying on the sofa in the sitting room instead of going to his bed to lie down. So then I saw him and I was like, Grant, what's going on? Why are you acting so weak and tired? He's like, oh, that he's feeling super bad and that he was having waist pain. I don't know if you guys can hear me. He was having waist pain, like his waist was so, like, he was feeling sore. So I was like, hey, are you sure this is not corona? Are you sure this is not corona? And he was like, nah, it's not. So the rest of my siblings came, my other brother and my sister. You guys have seen her on this channel before. So my sister, so she came and we started talking with him, like trying to find out exactly how he felt, you know, to like help him. I even went on Google that night to check for the symptoms of coronavirus because I was scared. So I checked for the symptoms. They talked about like some people feel pain, joint pains. I was like, hey, there's fever, there's weakness, you're feeling joint pain, like feeling pain on your waist. So I mean, it's probably corona. And then we managed to help him to go sleep. He woke up in the morning of the next day still feeling bad. In fact, he said the pain had increased, like the pain, he could feel the pain even more. So it was super scary, like really scary. And this story is just all over the place. How do you guys talk and do stuff? This is hectic. I'm so tempted to stop making this hair and just give the story and then go back to making the hair. But anyway, let's keep on. Let's not give up. Let's carry on. So the next day, he woke up feeling even worse. And then anything you ask him to eat, he doesn't want. And it's unlike him. Sometimes he doesn't eat when we are eating. And it's only because he's busy. Like he's busy doing something. Maybe drawing because he's also an artist. So like maybe drawing or practicing some instrument or the other, or just reading and researching on how to improve his art and music. But this time it was none of those things. It was just because he had no appetite to eat because he was feeling sick. And that's another symptom of coronavirus is loss of appetite. So when he said his waist felt worse, my mom had to massage his waist, but after the massage he said he felt worse. So it didn't even help. My dad had to go get some medicine for him to take, and he took the medicine, but it's not like it helped because we were self-medicating and we didn't know if it was really corona. I was just suspecting it was corona, but my mom was like, no, it's not corona. Because that virus is terrible. It has killed a lot of people. So even when someone's telling you you have corona, you don't want to accept it. So I didn't blame her for not accepting that her son might have, caught the virus. So he suffered it for some days and he was fine. And then after him, my other brother took it. Now he got the virus quickly and he was also feeling sick. Funny thing about his experience was that at some point he had increased sense of smell. So the one that we used to is loss of your sense of smell, but with Prosper, my brother, an increased sense of smell. So his wasn't loss of smell, his was increased. Like that's a pregnant woman. So he would just come out and you'd be like, something's smelling strong. What's that smell? And we were so confused because we couldn't smell what he was smelling. We couldn't smell what he was smelling. So it was like, we were so confused. We're like, what are you talking about? And then he too started acting really quiet and slow. And I was like, this thing looks like corona. Hey. And before then we had this long, I don't know if it was 3 days or 4 of severe cold weather. So it was super cold. They even had to warn us that we should brace ourselves for a strong cold front, and we should cover up and use, like, take a lot of hot liquids in. If you have heaters, use your heaters and all of that. We even had to go get a heater because, like, we got 2 heaters because it was really was bad. So when Prosper was done with his own feeling, I got it. So I got the virus. After I got it, my sister got it. Then my parents got it. So mine lasted a week and 3 days. And man, it was bad. I had fever going up to 38 degrees, 39 degrees. The only thing I didn't see was 40. And I thank God I didn't get to that point. But I felt really sick. I felt weak. I also had the same waist pain that Grant was talking about. But me, sometimes I feel pain in a funny way. So I felt like my body was doing me sugar, like sweet. So my waist felt like someone was tickling me or something, but it felt super uncomfortable. It felt really uncomfortable for me. And then with the weakness and all that, my throat, I also had sore throat, but I didn't have shortness of breath. Thank you, Jesus. That's something that God did for my family. Not even one of us had shortness of breath. So I was super sick. At some point, I would stand up and I'll fall down. Like, I felt like I was going to faint. Hey, was that thing, that virus, terrible. So then after me, my sister was like, oh God, you guys are scaring me. I hope I'm not going to be the next one. And she was the next one. She was really the next one. So she got the virus. She also suffered hers for a week. And the kind of weakness that you get with this sickness is like out of this world. I've never been weak like that in my entire life. Like, so weak, even weak to talk, weak to open your mouth and eat. Like, you'd be super weak. So yeah, she got weak and all that. And I kept telling my mom, I was like, hey, I think we have coronavirus. So are you sure we shouldn't go to the hospital? And she kept saying, no, this is not coronavirus. God forbid, it's not. And all that. So after my sister suffered for a week and few days, mine was a week and 3 days, I was fine. So the 4 of us were fine. Then we noticed that Dad started acting funny as well. Then we were even teasing him. We're like, hey, Daddy, are you sure you haven't caught this thing? Or and he didn't even know what to say because he was weak and all that. And then my mom also got it. So they were actually the ones that made us go test, like made us go to the hospital. Because ours just went after like a week and few days. We were fine. But my parents' one, like, was too much. So it was because of them that we had to go test. So they felt really bad, like super sick, and the weakness was like, I think it was extra with them, maybe considering their age, I feel, because with this virus, the older you get, the harder the symptoms, like the harder the symptoms feel to you, because your immune system is actually what helps you to fight the virus. Seeing that there is no cure for it as yet, there's no cure for it yet, so your immune system helps. And so the older you get, the more difficult it is for your immune system to work. So my parents, maybe, I think that's why they had felt it like really bad. So at some point my mom had to run away from her room. She had to run away from her room. She was like, she can't sleep here. That she also had the same feeling that Prosper had. She was like, the smell is awful. And we're like, what smell? We're not getting anything. She ran from her room. She couldn't stay there. We had to buy these sprays that sanitize the house, so we would spray it. But even that wasn't helping because she hated. It was from the time that we got the sprays, actually, that she started having that smell thing. That she was like, I don't like the smell of your spray. You guys shouldn't buy this nonsense again. Don't buy. Ah. So she had to run from her room. And then we noticed that they kept getting worse and worse and worse. And at some point I told my sister, I said, we're not leaving these two in this house. Like, we're not going to let them get fine on their own because this is taking too long. They had stayed a week feeling this way and it was super risky. So we're like, no, we're going to take them straight to the hospital so that they can get like a diagnosis of what's going on. Because I was like, this definitely has to be corona. And this stuff has killed a lot of people. That it's not going to kill our parents. So we have to take them straight to the hospital. We took them quickly to the hospital. Now they ran some tests, they asked questions, and found out that they had coronavirus. So the doctor was even so upset with them. Yay! She was so mad. Especially, she was mad at my mom. Like, she was super mad at my mom. Because my mom's a nurse, and all the medical personnel are supposed to take the vaccine. Even though she wasn't working as much, but the doctor was super mad at her for not taking the vaccine until that time. So yeah, so she gave them some medicines, because what they say is, since coronavirus doesn't have a cure, you're supposed to treat the symptoms that you see. So if you have a fever, you treat the fever. If you have a cough, you treat the cough. If you have sore throat, you treat sore throat. And if you have shortness of breath, then you need to come to the hospital and use oxygen. I don't know what they call that. That helps you to breathe. Yeah, but thank God none of them had shortness of breath, because that's actually the main killer with coronavirus. The shortness of breath, that's a killer. My parents couldn't eat. The cough was terrible. They would cough like my mom's body was full of pain, because the coughing like makes you so, like, you feel so much pain. And then with my dad, when he's coughing, he would just be pressing his head like I was so scared. I was like, Jesus, this is crazy. And we were thanking God that we had to suffer it first before our parents, because if we suffered it after them, or if we all suffered it at the same time, who was going to help them? It's going to be disastrous. But thank God we suffered it first and we could help them because we were fine by the time they started suffering it. So I and my sister became nurses. At some point, my dad used to call me Dr. Barrister Victory, because I studied law. So he would mix the two titles together, like Dr. Barrister Victory. And then he would call my sister Dr. Favor. Anytime he gets a window of strength, to just talk. So yeah, but they were taking the medication, and after like another week, so they stayed 2 weeks being sick. After another week, mom stopped having fever, but she was still coughing, and the pain was just crazy. But dad continued having the fever for, I think, for extra 3 days. So he had the fever for that long. But then after that, he started getting better. But the cough continued. Apparently, the cough continues for quite some time, but then it starts reducing. But with the medications, we also took natural stuff, ginger, garlic. We drank a lot of warm water, a lot of hot liquids. At some point, we were having soup with our Nigerian stuff, because I'm Nigerian, Igbo. So we have this family friend that came to visit. The wife cooked the food, and then the man brought the soup to us. So it had some spice in it, not too much, but it had some spice in it to help, with the fever and all that. So those things really helped. And then with corona, you need to take a lot of rest, because your immune system is working for you to help get rid of the virus, so it doesn't go all the way to your lungs. So we needed a lot of vitamins, a lot of anything that could help you natural herbs and all that could help you. So we didn't have herbs, so to say, but we had some stuff from our country. Things, something that they call nchuang. You need a lot of fruits to help your immune system to fight. I don't know if my story makes sense because I'm getting so distracted by this hair that I'm making. I feel like next time I'll just have to tell the story straight, and because this thing is it's difficult. It's difficult to tell the story while you're busy on your hair. I never knew it was this difficult. Lord help me. If you haven't gotten the virus already, I pray that it never comes close to you or your family. I read up something yesterday that the time that the infection, is stronger is like the first 3 days of you showing no symptoms. That's when it's infectious or contagious. So that's when you pass it on to other people. And then the first 7 days after you show symptoms. So if you've isolated for 10 days or quarantined for 14 days, then even if, like after the isolation of 10 days, even if you go out to meet people, it doesn't infect them, so to say. I don't know how accurate it is, but that's what I read. So just do your research and find out if that's actually true. Just so that it helps you to be more careful when you go out. I'm not even saying exactly how it felt because I couldn't explain. At that point, at that time of our lives, I couldn't do anything. I neglected my hair. I was like, everything, the whole day was just about taking care of our parents. Like, it was so crazy. I couldn't even sleep properly. I'd be sleeping in the night and I'll hear someone cough and I'll just spring off the bed to go see if I can help. I and my sister were constantly thinking of what to cook for them since they had no appetite for anything. We were constantly boiling water, cutting lemon, garlic, ginger. Like, we hadn't worked that much in our entire lives before. And the worst part of this whole thing was that our parents never get sick. I haven't ever seen my mom get sick. Even when we get flus because of the weather, and stuff like that, my mom never gets the flu. Never. My dad as well. We don't ever see them sick. But at this point, we saw them sick, and it was crazy sickness. Like, it's not a baby stuff. It was bad. I can't even explain, and I don't even want to remember. Sometimes you get days in your life that you wish that those days could be rewinded so you can go back to those days. I don't, because of this coronavirus, the sickness and the whole pain of the virus, I don't ever want to go back in time for any reason, because I don't want to land on those days. Terrible 2 weeks of our lives with my parents. I'm talking about my parents because theirs was like the worst. With us, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't half of what they went through. So I don't even want to think of those days. I don't even want to go back to those days. But I just thank God that, He came to our rescue. I prayed almost every minute. I was praying because I needed God's help. I would pray. I was getting stressed. My head would be aching. At some point, I felt like my blood was drying up because the stress was on another level. It was crazy. It was super crazy. But I just thank God. I got so weak that I couldn't even raise my hands. Like, I couldn't raise my left hand. I felt like I was having a stroke or something. Because I couldn't raise my left hand up. I started talking to my hand. I was like, you are going to go up. You are going to be raised. You can't stay down. You must go up. I'm not losing strength on my hand. I still have control over every part of my body. So you are going to go up. I have control over you. If I want you to go up, I'll take you up. If I want you to come down, I'll take you down. can't dictate for me how I'm supposed to move my body. It's not possible. I'm just laughing because I thank God that I have a testimony. Like out of all this, I have a testimony. So I really just thank God. It was crazy, but God came through for us, and He just healed. He healed my parents, and I give Him all the glory. It wasn't an easy time. I was frantically calling people. I was like stress calling this our family friends. I was stress calling them because I know they had suffered coronavirus in 2020. So I was like, they got fine. So I was like, at least they will have information for me on how to take care of my parents. So I would always call. I'll call the auntie. I'll call my auntie. I'll call her to ask her how are we doing this. I call her my auntie because they like family. So I'd call her to ask, hey, what must I give? The fever is still high. Oh God, what am I going to do? Her husband also, we're all just communicating back to back. And then my auntie, my mom's sister in Lagos, Nigeria, would always call. Every morning she'll call, in the afternoon she'll call, in the night. She was so scared. She was so scared. So she'll call to find out how they're doing. Are they getting better? She was praying. At some point, she even got sick because the stress was too much. She couldn't sleep. Like, everything was just too much at that time. But I thank God that the time is over and that we're fine and that we have testimonies. To God be the glory. Guys, I've only been able to plant 2. Just 2. Hey! Thank God I'm done with the story so I can concentrate and finish up with my hair. I'll catch you guys later. A little later.